Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. And be comfortable yourself and relax your body. So keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. And gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. So while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand how this practice will help for us to develop our spiritual foundation. So when it comes to our ordinary life, we always go through the struggle, difficulty, hardness. And this itself we name as suffering. So how the life becomes suffering, because suffering is the reality, suffering is the truth. We all experience it in different level. So why the life, the nature or the perception or our experience transform to suffering? It's because misperception, misunderstanding. So how this unnecessary suffering come out of misunderstanding? Where the misunderstanding happens? So the misunderstanding start with the idea of self, I am. There is a permanent, independent, self-centered, something exists inside me. So that idea multiply. That idea go to other things. So I am here because of that. I have memory. I have whatever I experience, it is permanent. Why? Because I am permanent. And then my things experience the permanent. So like that, when the idea of self become permanent, around it, what happens, that other all things we experience, we take as permanent. So to get out of this idea, what we can do, in the very first level, we have to uplift our awareness to certain level, because just by thinking, we can't get out of this. So the very first thing we have to remember that whatever our perception, even it is a misunderstanding, even it is a misperception, we have to remember it is not permanent. So because of that, you can get out of it. Your misunderstanding is not permanent. Because of that, you can withdraw from it. So that's why everybody have an opportunity and everybody have a chance. Right now, right here. But the thing is, sometimes we grasping, holding, clinging to our own perception. This is real, this is permanent, this is truth. So unless that you give up it, it is very difficult for us to see the other side. So then, this struggle itself called the ignorance. We taking misperception, misunderstanding as permanent or as truth. So when we come to the world, there are two kinds of existence. There are two kinds of way things exist that we can see in a certain level. One is independent. And when you look at something, so we can see it kind of like independent. It is not a kind of like have a connection with something. So this ball itself has a different kind of material, different shape, different structure, different color, and it's look like, and then the hold and itself is different. So it is so soft, this is so heavy and hard. So, and at the same time, this is wood. So this is different. So these two things look like difference. So because of that, on the surface level, for the face value, we see it kind of like this is independent because it look different. So this is something that help us to have the idea of I am independent. But underneath, as we all know, things interdepending. There is no such a thing called independent something. It's always interdepending. So as example, this one, after 100 years, you can't see it like this. It is start to get fade and become dust. So that means even though for the moment it look like something, but by the time it's not going to be here like this. So even this is so hard, heavy, iron, it's a kind of like a heavy, kind of like a strong material. After another 100 years, 200 years, it's not going to be like this. So everything the same, even ourselves, our body the same. And whatever these material things we experience around us, that also the same. So that means even though for the moment it look like independent, but by the time we can see it depending from something. That's why it disappears. So this idea of emptiness in Buddhism, another way to access is, this is a path that you can understand. There is no such a thing called independent. That is why things called empty. So then, again, if we go to this example, there is no such a thing called independent. So this is exist because of many reasons, many cause and effect, and because of this is empty. What you see as a singing bowl is empty. Why? Because deeply, there is no such a thing called singing bowl. So there is, even though you see the wood, for the moment you see it, but It depending from many things. Because of that, this is empty. So that is a way that you can access to this emptiness. So look at today, another example. So this with the machines and technology, and we live in a kind of like a network era. So the networking means, network means not such a one independent something. Networking, an interface, an internet. So internet, everything come together, harness. So that means there is no such a thing called internet can exist independently. So internet means it's something interdependent. So that is another way. It's empty, but we all use it. And conventionally, we use that name. We experience it. You and me connect, everything connect because of the internet. But it is not such a single entity, permanent, unchangeable entity. As you know, internet always is always burning the power, and it's always changing. All the data and moving here and there is not the permanent concrete entity. So same thing with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind also. So this all we experience, our perception itself change. So at the moment what you experience, seeing with your eye, hearing with your ears, and nose with the aroma, tongue with the taste, body with the feelings, mind with the thought, you are itself kind of like a internet. You are kind of like an interface. It is a network. So networking happen not in the outside. This is the real network happen inside you. So that moment by moment that all the experience come to you is come as a result of this connection. So that experience always change, and it is not permanent. And at the same time, if you take it as permanent and kind of like a independent, realistic something, then itself, it take you to different level. So then at the same time, the consciousness, the way that you accept and the way you hold this perception depend on the condition of the consciousness. So the consciousness is not something itself exists independently. Consciousness also depend on the information. So then when it comes to you, that as who you are, what you experience is always possible to change. So then are you allowing that to change, or are you trying to maintain whatever you experience as the same? Most of time, whatever we experience, we like to repeat. So that repetition itself creates something as real. But the moment by moment, the life you experience, you can't repeat. So what the repetition that you do, it is your mental imagination. So then always remember, understanding this and developing your mind to a certain level and bring the clarity to yourself will help you to get into this truth. So in this path, and sometimes there are two ways that we have to develop our life. So one is the aspirational method. And the other one is the engaging methods. So aspirational method means you always wish to achieve. So that is very necessary. But you are still not achieved there, but you like to achieve. So when it comes to that emptiness, understanding that, knowing that, so you have kind of like intention, oh, I like to experience, but you never experience it. But in the beginning, you have to have that aspiration. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So then why you need to have that aspiration? Because if you hold it to this world as what you experience, believing it is real, oh, I want to be like this, I like to be again and again the same way, or I want to be something. So that's mean you are going away from the emptiness. But if you recognize this struggle happening inside you, this drama, unsatisfaction, fear, anxiety, depression, so you recognize, I don't want this. So then, if you know this whole creation of your mind, if you look for a solution, emptiness is the real antidote for all these problems. Because once you understand that, you are not holding to the experience. So that aspiration is very necessary. Because for you, that is the best you can do. And recognizing the truth and rescue yourself from this all the suffering, sadness, worry, disappointment, unhappiness, uncertainty, fear, anxiety, depression. That is the best that you can do to yourself. And at the same time, that is the best that you can contribute to the humanity. And that is the best that you can give to others. Look at the pharmaceutical industry. And everywhere that everybody try to get the help out of something, this material something, to escape from this all. But still more and more we get into this trap. Why? Because the very epicenter or the beginning point of this all is our own consciousness, misunderstanding, misinterpretation, misguiding. So what is that misunderstanding? Taking things as real, taking things as permanent, taking things as solid. So that's why you have to have this aspirational mood regarding go towards the emptiness, or the have the hopes to achieve to more higher level of living. So another thing is just having hopes itself not going to work for you. So then you have to being engaged and start to go towards that and develop activities. So this method, two methods, both necessary. From the beginning, put the foundation and then you build on it. So when it comes to that journey, there are few methods that you have to practice. So we have to deal with this body and mind and this with material world. Remember, the wisdom or the enlightenment does not come only by thinking. It's come out of the practice. It's come out of the way we deal with these physical material things. So the very first quality that you have to develop, practicing generosity. The generosity, it is not just giving something. or sharing. We all do that. But here, when you go in this wisdom path, practicing generosity, you have to little bit be more matured. You have to go a little bit more deeper with the generosity. It's kind of like a doing something without any expectations and doing something good for you and good for others is very necessary. And at the same time, doing the right thing. This all included to generosity. And another thing is, rather than talking about the giving, when it comes to generosity, once you understand disadvantage of holding, it will help you to release. Because most of the time we don't see that. We talk about, generally giving and sharing. But at the same time, maybe we give 1%, but we holding 99%. So that way, it is not the generosity what we talk here. So the generosity is a kind of like a help you to renunciate, completely get out of this desire, collective nature, holding nature, grasping, clinging nature. You can't do it maybe overnight. But at least if you recognize this disadvantage of holding, grasping, clinging, then you will see letting go or giving something or sharing something is important. And at the same time, as human beings, when it comes to the very basic fundamental qualities, as I mentioned in our life, we are interdependent. We are not independent. So when you go to that basic truth, you naturally become generous. It is not with the, people can become generous with the independent idea, self-centered idea. I do this, I am the one who doing this, and put my name there. And so like that, people always try to show off using generosity. And they try to build their egocentric, self-centered idea using generosity. But here, renunciation, you get out of that. So just imagine then, if you recognize that your life not independent, you are interdepending, then naturally you become generous. So your life happened because of other people, especially your parents. They are the one who basically gave this life for you. And from the very beginning, just imagine if your mother and the father decide, we don't need any children. Let's have fun just ourselves and live a life ourselves. We don't need this unnecessary trouble. Then how are you going to come here? You can't. So then they had the generous idea to give the space for you, open the doors for you to come to this world, give the space even in the mother's womb. Not even in somewhere, not a hotel or, some place, not a, part of the bed, in the mother's womb. See, just imagine who can do that. But you received it. I received that. We all received that. And then from that point, 10 months, and we stay there and sucking all the blood from the mother like a mosquito, and we give, build up our life there. And whatever mother eat, half of it, we used to get it and get nourished. Look, and that's how we start. We have to remember that. And then very first 5 years, sometimes we have no idea what is this life. And our parents always used to look after us, take care of us. Look, otherwise sometimes we make a mistake or we eat something wrong or, do something wrong. Maybe our whole life going to become different. But they used to take care of us. So that is where your life will start. And from that point, many teachers, many brothers, sisters, and known people, unknown people, how many people help for us? And you visitors many doctors, and you never knew that person. But just imagine if that person made a mistake and gave you some wrong medicine, what will happen? So like that, always our life happened because of other people. And even when it comes to the food, we don't grow everything in our garden. We go and buy things. And just for a 24-hour day, how many things we need? This consumer product, food, that everything come from big circle of sacrifice. So we have to think about it. When you tune to that level, then you recognize this very moment of existence happened because of interconnected the effort. So that is itself the wisdom you gain. That is itself you get out of this egg, this self-centered idea, egocentric idea that you exist because of other people. And that itself open your heart to become generous. You don't need any other reasons. So this is not something, oh, you have to be generous, then becoming generous is good. It is not that. That is good for children. But here, you have to little bit go deeper and become matured with the Dharma. So that is one thing, generosity. Another thing is, as matured people, elders, so for a certain time period, you spend your life, look at your journey, how many things came to your hand and everything you give up by the time. And so we have been to many funerals, when the people die sometimes, even before they die, when the parents get old, if they have money, sometimes children try to, take it. And one time I went to the bank, I was in the line and there was an old mother came with this young boy. And then suddenly big fight. And then later, I was having conversation with the manager and I asked what happened. So this mother have money, but she don't give to the children. Little by little she give. So what he did, when the mother put the PIN number, he put a big amount of money, not the money that amount the mother told. And he was trying to get the money, cheating the mother. But she knew that because before she withdrew and she asked from the counter and she knew it is a big money. So like that, when you get old, remember, even if you don't give, other people will take that all. Everything will take, even little, jewelries, whatever you have, anything, if something nice, beautiful, valuable, that is what you hold. If it is there, when you get old, other people will take. And after you die, and the other people kill each other to take whatever belongs to you. That is the reality. So it is better while you're living, and be a generous person, and without any expectation, without thinking anything come return to you, just start to give it, give. So by the time what will happen, just it's like this, if you light this candle, the light start to come back to this candle also, so like that. So what you give, the generosity, when you give, it release you, that releasing, that freedom, start to be around you. And whoever receive, it become happy, that happiness going to come back to you. So that's how you have to practice. And the second quality you have to practice, when you go in engaging the path, there are many qualities. Just I simplify little few things to practice for yourself. So second one is morality. So the morality is not a disciplined life. This is misunderstanding. The morality here is come from the sealer. So the sealer is the very meaning is make you kind of like a cool, stressless, fearless. You have a very cool life, cool mind. If you don't do unnecessary, unwholesome actions, there's nothing to afraid, no fear. If you practice the proper way of living, you feel so cool. So that is morality. And other one is that you have to remember most of our own actions bring us a lot of unnecessary troubles to us. So we have no wisdom to understand ourselves, what is good for us or what is bad for us. So practicing this way and practicing morality and proper way of living will help for you to develop your life. And other thing is, when it comes to the morality, do the good for you and do the good for others. So that way you have very cool life. How good it is. You are the one who getting the benefit out of it. So that's why when it comes to the morality, cultivating this positive lifestyle is morality. So you have to have some kind of aspiration and at the same time engage with that. And so then you are the one who enjoy the life. And the third one is very necessary, being patient. So when you engage with that and when you know you are in a path to achieve to a higher purpose, so being patient will help you to be with what about to come. So that is very necessary. When you don't have it, whatever the simple things happen, it make you crazy. It make you, difficult. And sometimes people go nuts, because you are depending from this very simple in day-to-day things. You don't have a higher purpose. But being patient, when you have an idea to achieve to the wisdom or even yourself to become a better person, when a situation comes, you are not going to get disappointed, or you are not going to tangle with that, because you know your purpose is not to address to that. Your purpose is somewhere else. So then you are focusing to that. So, and at the same time, all the action create reactions and result. So then, rather than the moment of experience, you become more aware what about to come. So that way, you can be patient. So otherwise, if you can't see that, the life can go crazy for anything. Good or bad or right or wrong, day or night, anything, anywhere. Anybody can make you crazy. Always drama, 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 no end. Inside head drama, and at home, and even you go out, everywhere. You go to the public place, you go to the bus, train, even the plane, anywhere. See, sometimes people, drama. No patience. With that, you can't. Because another thing is, go to the very first wisdom. There's no such a thing called independent. All interdepending. So that also make you patient. So you are not hold it to something and you are not trying to take, oh, this is it. So something like that. And the fourth one is the effort. So that is very necessary. So whatever situation come, and sometimes things can change, and maybe hard times come. So not to give up, and then yourself continue the path is very necessary. And without kind of like a postponing, and when there is opportunity, and you always have to remember, and this life can change at any time. So then whatever you have to do it. And there are two things can come to you. Okay, remember that. Write down in somewhere and look every day and remember. Don't know which will come first. That will happen. You know, even for me the same, you know, that's why. So every day we finish our lesson and we don't keep continue sections, parts, chapters. Every day is a new chapter. And what are these two things? Tomorrow or next life. We don't know which will come first. Maybe tomorrow will come first, or maybe next life come first. But somehow, out of these two, one going to come. So then, always remember, whatever you have to do today, you have to do it. So have the effort, and when you have that effort, be diligent, joy, with the good heart, happy mind, not kind of like a grumpy pace. Do it with the good heart. Do it with the compassion. Do it as a kind of like a privilege. It is a privilege for you. So in that way, that moment of effort make you complete. So the fifth one is concentration meditation. So it's another way called the samadhi, tranquility state. So that also very necessary, because our mind scattered everywhere. So then the power of mind can increase by focusing. So then always remember, it's kind of like a laser beam. If it is scattered, there's no power. So, but it is focused to one place and it become powerful. So like that, your mind always is, you have to be focused to something to make profitable out of your action. So everything depends on the condition of the mind. And if the mind is scattered, that's mean you have weak mind. So if you have the concentrated, focused mind, so then it will help. But at the same time, you have to remember, it is a one part. So there was a yogi, and he practiced samadhi, tranquility state, rishi, brahman, or kind of like a spiritual master. And he practiced sit-pose samadhi, tranquility state, attain to the samadhi, stay there 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 7 years. His hair start to grow, beard start to grow, and everything is unsolid. It's all solid, and everything is kind of like a rock. He's unmovable. So what happened? The rats start to to climb to the head. And he still is unmoved. He is in samadhi. And the ants also start to climb to the head. And all the bugs came to head. It's kind of like a little jungle now. Because a lot of hair. Because he doesn't move. All these little animals thought it's kind of like a ant hill. It's kind of like a piece of rock, piece of wood. So then what happened? These rats start to catch the ants. And then because of that, this little irritation happened on the head. And because of that, his anger arises. See, even you attain to that kind of tranquility state, you have to remember this sanskara or the mental formations can be there. It's kind of like go into sleeping mood and stay there. And sometimes it can awake. So maybe we all are nice people, good people. And you can come to some kind of tranquility state. You do the things right. And when everything goes perfect, you are so good. But when something goes wrong, you can be so bad. You can be so mad. You can be so disappointed, unhappy. And sometimes when things go wrong, you become a demon, monster, wolf. How it come like that? That's the human nature. We should know that. It's all happened to us. So because deeply we have this mental formations unseen, that some kind of past experience. So that's why tranquility state, it's not enough. So then the sixth level, the wisdom, the seeing yourself, seeing deeper your heart, seeing deeper your mind, seeing deeper this mental formation, you have to change it. That's the power of wisdom. Bring the change to yourself. Change your all bodily, verbally, mentally actions. It's not just outside practice. So inner change, bring it to yourself. If you see there is an anger arise, hatred arise, jealousy arise, unprofitable thoughts arise, unwholesome thought arise, and before it come as an action and change the direction and convert it to good and bring it to opposite side. Transform it, divert it, detour it to the good. So that is where you develop the power of consciousness and ability of taking decision inside you. So that is where you bring the transformation to yourself. Because that whatever it is, they are not permanent. Oh, I am an angry person, I am a mad person. There is no such a thing like that because it is changeable. And you also remember, you can't name anybody. Oh, he's an angry person, she's an angry person, she's a bad person, she's a bad. Don't do that. Because there is no such a thing like that. It is a very wrong way that we address people. Allow anybody to change. Give a chance to change. Welcome them to change. Give an invitation them to change. So that is how you open the heart and you bring the practice to reality. You bring the practice to outside world. So you open your heart to yourself to change your own nature, deeper inside you. If you can do that, you are not afraid to give a chance to anybody to change. So if we can live a life like that, even for a day, that life going to become beautiful. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Swapatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment you're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your mind to settle down with the breathing. If your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. Your backside. to your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Imaya dhamma anudhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi. Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam paribunjissami. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.